Hey guys, good morning. This is Diary of a Coach, episode 310. 310. How are you? It's the midweek and it's a lovely week. Don't forget, this is our week of strategy. This is our week of being strategic. This is our week of doing things strategically, which means you think thoroughly, you craft intentionally, and you do it with a purpose. You do it with a purpose. Fantastic. So how are you? Yesterday evening, I attended a very powerful business community event organized by Leadpreneur. Leadpreneur is a community of dynamic leaderpreneurs, people who are leaders in their business communities. And it's one of the two very important communities I belong to. Leadpreneur is founded by Taufik Babayeju and is governed by several of us who are privileged to be on the ESCO. It was a very powerful session. We had Dr. Adeloju, the Chief Operating Officer of the National Economic Summit Group, NESG, and that guy is super loaded. So we had a thorough 3-hour conversation around economy, around dynamics, statistics of issues in the country, the industries, so many profound conversations. So the business of the week that I'm going to announce is inviting you to join the Leadpreneur family. So if you'd like to join the Leadpreneur family, just go on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. It's at Leadpreneur. Or you send an email to info@leadpreneur.com. Leadpreneur is lead, Lead, preneur, preneur.com. Leadpreneur.com. So this is my invitation to you to join us in that business community. I take business seriously and I love to learn. There's a WhatsApp community where we also belong to. When you send the information, you'll be added to the WhatsApp group and you can take advantage of some of our very powerful sessions and our programs for the whole year. Our calendar runs up until 26th of December, where we have our final cocktail party at the end of the year, but it's a very loaded session. So yesterday was very instructive. Yesterday was very powerful. Yesterday was very, very insightful. It was mind-blowing, getting to see what we do that contributes to the GDP of the economy and how we are changing lives by the micro efforts that we're putting on the table. So I feel quite privileged to be a member of Leadpreneur, and I encourage you to join the community called Leadpreneur, which is it's a parallel group to BSG, but we do two different things altogether. So BSG is all about strategy and operations and the day-to-day execution of your business. And then Leadpreneur is about policy making, impact development, long-term projection of impact. So for me, it's a harmonization of two powerful communities that if you belong to, you're going to be something else in the business community. Fantastic. So that was business of the day. Today's episode is titled, Someone is Using What You Give. Someone is using what you give. One of the biggest self-deprecating thoughts I have observed with people is them saying, I can't teach. I don't know what to say. I can't write a book. I don't know what to write. I don't have anything. I don't know anything. I don't know enough to give. I don't know enough to share. I don't have what it takes to teach. I don't have what it takes to be a voice. I don't have what it takes to go on radio. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to do. We seem to be, it's in some ways it's called imposter syndrome. which is your self-doubt, more like you can't guarantee that you know anything. So the imposter syndrome is that voice in your head that says, my friend, better shut up. What do you have to offer that you're trying to show yourself? That's imposter syndrome. That's one side of it. Another side of it could be inferiority complex. That syndrome where you feel less, you feel beneath yourself, you feel incapable, you feel that you need to do more and make more efforts to be visible and to be bright and to be acceptable and to be possible. That is imposter, that is inferiority complex. There's also the aspect where it is a voice in your head. It could be an impact from a significant voice. A typical example, I heard a lady attended our premarital trainer and said she has always wanted to do marital counseling for people. And because she had left a former marriage and remarried, that her imam said, who is going to listen to you? Is it people like you that do marriage counseling? So that's another third scenario. When someone of significant stature in your life tells you something, that statement is likely to dislocate you. It's likely to dampen your morale. It's likely to make you feel you cannot amount to what you aspire to. So our parents, our mentors, our role models, our pastors, our imams, our leaders, someone you look up to and someone you're close to may give you feedback that disempowers you and shuts you down. So it's an unfortunate thing, but one thing I've learned is, like Sean Stevenson would say, any feedback that disempowers you is not for you. Any feedback that disempowers you is not for you. I've said this before. In this life, you're wired naturally to succeed. You are wired naturally to emerge. You are wired naturally to be global. You are wired naturally to be a voice. You are wired naturally to help someone. In fact, the baby born today, if they could speak, they could mentor us on the journey from the womb to the outward life. That's how significant a personal experience is. Anyone who has gone through a personal experience automatically has the capacity to advise or counsel or share information. So not everyone is your audience, but someone is your audience. That is why in library science, there's a creed in library science that says, every book its reader and every reader his book. Which means no matter how light, how shallow, how myopic you think, because it's not true, no matter how shallow, myopic, and light you think that your content is, there is someone that is consuming that content with all passion because it is useful to them. And just like some people are deemed to be deep, some people are also deemed to be useful. But the thing is, all of us are useful. All of us have a personal touch to an experience that someone else has not had. Which means that no matter your level, there is an audience that will listen to you. Your job is to be pushing out your content, push out your content, distribute your content across wide platforms so that by chance you will find your traffic zone. I think some of the challenges is that some of us fixate our traffic on a particular channel. So I may be a Facebook channel person and then I'm not getting the traction I wish I had. And maybe my traction is on LinkedIn. Maybe my traction is on Instagram. Maybe my traction is on Twitter. Maybe my traction is on a blog. So you need to widen your spectrum of distribution so that as you widen your spectrum of distribution, you're able to aggregate traffic over time because it's a collective work. And the more you collect your traffic, the more you find that there is a segment that believes in your content, that reads your content, that is growing with you. When I remember some of the things I wrote 10 years ago, 11 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, when I read them now, I just laugh like, wow, I wrote this. I remember when I used to use mnemonics. We call them mnemonics, short codes. You know, the way you write quickly and you write abbreviations as words. I remember as early as 2011 and about 2012, I used to write that way. So irritating. Like, I think back and I'm wondering, how could I have been writing like that? Because right now, I cannot bring myself to even write in short words. Everything has to be fully spelled and literal. But guess what? Even when I was writing in short codes and short words, I was getting traffic. I was being heard. I was being read. I was being listened to. I was being followed. And now that I've grown on my content, those who have stayed with me have grown with me. It means that no matter your level, you have your traffic. And as you are growing, unconsciously, your traffic is growing with you. It's very important. Yes, I like how Olayemi Temitayo puts it. She says, conquer your fears and start with what you have. Absolutely. It was Zig Ziglar, right? Or Jim Rohn that said, start with what you have where you are. Start with what you have where you are. No, I think it was John Maxwell. So that's just the truth. There is always an audience for your level of content. And as you're growing, your followers grow with you. Now, don't be mistaken. Some of your followers outgrow you and move on to someone else who is at their level. It is okay. It is okay. You also outgrow some of your followers. You know, recently I was speaking somewhere and I realized that I seem to have been speaking above them. And I had to task myself to find simpler words to use to communicate. So it's possible you're talking above an audience that you have grown. And if you have the skills and you have the willingness, you can, what's the word? Not break down. You can step down. Yes, that's the word. You can step down your content to reach their level so you can speak with them and at them and on their level. If you find that you do not have the vocabulary to step down your content and step down your grammar and step down your approach, there are two ways to it. You can either choose to stay at the level you have grown or read more. Visit dictionaries, thank God for online resources. Find synonyms and use that, to step down your communication. I think that for everyone who dishes out content, you should try and aspire to have content for every category of audience. You should be able to step down your content to a lower discerning audience or a lower perceptive audience. And you should be able to speak your prowess to a higher perceptive audience. That way, you are actually the master of your communication. It's very important. So I think that this is an advice to someone out there. Step up to the plate. You have what it takes. Some of you are burying your potentials out of fear. Some of you are burying your potentials out of doubt. Some of you are burying your potentials out of insecurity, out of the fear of being judged, out of the fear of making a mistake, out of whatever it is. Or maybe because of that voice in your ear telling you, you cannot do this thing. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't go and shame your family name in public. I charge you today and I encourage you, whatever you have is useful to someone and they will find you. But you need to make it easier. Post across several channels and keep posting. And as you're posting, permit yourself to review what you're writing. Ask yourself, do I believe in this thing I'm writing? Because the more you believe in it, the more you build on it. But the more you know that there are areas you need to fix in your content, permit yourself to be flexible. Permit yourself to grow. Permit yourself to change even your content. Don't be arrogant and say, this is my belief. If I change it now, people will say that I am two-mouthed. I'm wavering. Hey, the only person whose mind does not change is a dead man. So you need to permit your philosophies to also change. Permit your philosophies to change. When you have found new information, allow your philosophies to change. And for as long as you're reading and exposing yourself and interacting with the community and the wider world, you'll find that your philosophies will actually be changing over time. Over time, you'll be expanding in knowledge and awareness. You'll be expanding in cultural intelligence. You'll be expanding in ecology. Ecology here means your empathy, your worldview versus the worldview of other people, the consideration of other people. You'll be expanding in your perception of cultures and ethics and protocols and different dimensions to life, and that will impact on your philosophies. So permit your philosophies to change, and as they're changing, your content is growing, your content is improving, your content is becoming more relevant, your content is becoming more impactful, your content is becoming more and more, a pull. You're pulling people to yourself. This is a very profound knowledge, and I believe that it is helpful. So, whatever you have is useful. Don't shut your mouth. Don't shut your mind. Don't shut your philosophies. Talk about them. Whatever you believe in, hold on to it. Don't let anyone bully you out of your philosophies until you are convinced about changing your philosophies. Don't be blind about philosophies. Don't just say, because my mentor says this, I embrace it hook, line, and sinker. No. Think, ask questions, query, try to poke, and puncture, and find your own meanings to philosophies. That way, you can embrace it wholeheartedly and say, this is what I choose. Very important, very important. He then says, you're right, Coach Sam. That's what Business Digest does, breaking down information for all. Timothy says, whatever you have or know will always be useful to someone else. Stay flexible and consistent. Thank you very much. That's true. Esther Mishara says, I've been missing this a lot. I'm back now. Welcome back, Rekia. It's good to see you on Diary of a Coach. Fantastic. So it's been a beautiful day. Yes, Demeter says we must permit our philosophies to change. Thanks, boss. Thank you to my sister. So thank you so much. This has been 310 Diary of a Coach. We have 55 episodes to hit one whole year content of Diary of a Coach. Are you not proud of what we've done? This is solid. So this is episode 310. And don't forget, every episode goes on YouTube immediately after we're done. So if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do me the favors of subscribing today. And I want to give one coaching slot, one discounted coaching slot. I think I can afford one coaching slot for the rest of February. So if you're interested in taking one coaching slot, which will be 4 sessions within this month of February, or maybe a spillover into March. If you're interested, hook up with me quickly. Let's see what we can work out. It is not free, but let's see what we can work out. Some discounted offer that may help you. I can afford a slot. I think I can. So, Ada, if you're welcome back to Diary of a Coach. Thank you so much for watching 310 Diary of a Coach. It's a beautiful day. Don't forget, this is the week of being strategic. Do things after thinking through it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can categorically say Ideni and Dorothy have watched every single episode of the 310 episodes. I mean live. They've joined live episode 310 times. Guys, what should we do to these guys? They're so committed to this channel and they deserve a huge award. And lest I forget, everybody who comes for DSD Summit is going to have a voucher to be a member of Chrome Dance Studio. It's a dance and fitness studio. And last night I had a beautiful conversation with the CEO, and we've agreed to give everyone who comes for the BSD Summit a voucher to become a member of the Chrome Dance Studio. So you need to be at the BSD Summit. By the way, 6 p.m. today, the 55,000 Naira slot goes off, and then we go to 75,000 Naira slot from tomorrow. So you don't want to miss it, I believe. Grab a slot today. Don't wait until 6 p.m. because it's switching over to 75K. Thank you for watching Diary of a Coach. It's a beautiful morning. Have a beautiful day, and God bless you. Bye.